Hey there YouTube, it's AP the Rider again, and today we got the DS by Zero. So in the previous video you might remember me checking out the FXS model, the Supermoto edition. This is a slightly aggressive naked version. So appearance wise, looks fantastic. Seats a bit higher, so it rides a bit like a bit like a 7 800cc adventure bike, for example FS 800 by BMW. It's got some lovely tires and alloys on there, so 50/50 knobblies, 19 at the front, 17 at the rear. Yep, 17 at the rear, and it's got a lovely bit of styling. Now I've got to say thanks to First Line Motorcycles for lending the bike for today's test ride. Getting back to the bike, it is made in the USA, and now where the conventional fuel tank is, we can now put a bit of storage because the motorcycle is fully electric. You don't really get you get more storage than you would on an FXX model, and you can actually store your wallet, your keys, maybe even a small lunch in there. But definitely handy to have for riding around and carrying another tank bag, so save a bit of money there. Now, quite nice and simple controls. The color is green. I'm not too sure what color it is exactly, but got the controls here. So we got the mode, and then we got the cut-off switch for the motor, and we got the ignition in the center and the display hub, just like on the FXS. Over to the left, it's pretty simple. Same controls, I'd say. You got the light, high, low, and then at the rear you can see there's a little nib to flash it. Has lights and a ignition. So and also the horn. Let's not forget that horn. Let's get it started. Let's take it for a little run. I've got to say, quite a smooth bike. Slightly tall for me, but it's manageable. Now, this, I've got to say, one thing I really like is how smooth this motorcycle operates. But let's talk about a bit more in depth. Let me roll on my intro. Right, so let's start off with the price. I mean, that's the main thing everyone's going to want to know. It's the main thing that everyone's really interested in. And this particular model is not cheap. It is £12,000 on the road price, roughly. I'll put an exact price amount. Now, I know what you're thinking. 12 grand for a fully electric bike. It looks like a toy for the rich. But you know what? Let's think about this. Now, this bike, you can actually ride it on a CBT because it's classed as a 125. And unlike other 125s, this feels nothing like a 125 because it's, bear with me here. It feels more like a 3 to 400cc bike when you've got the throttle on full crank, because it is got amazing amounts of torque, and it feels like it's got bags and bags of power on it, and it does not feel boring to ride whatsoever. So that 12 grand, well worth the price tag, and that's for the basic version, which I think this is. um, you can put some optional extras like the charge tank, which is £3,000 extra, which is, it's like basically having a fast charge system, but that's built in from the factory, and it will take 1 hour to fully charge from about 60 or 50%, I believe, or I think maybe even 0%. and then the power tank, which is which is 3 grand, I believe, from the shop, and again that will just speed up the charging. Realistically, you're not gonna need one of those because you use your motorcycle during the day, and you're gonna be napping for at least 8 to 12 hours, right? Let's say 8 hours a day is your sleep time. Okay, fair enough. But then you're never gonna run the battery down to zero because if you take it below 10%, that means you've got a hell of a long commute. The range is in a city roughly about 150 miles. Now, if you put it on the motorway, that comes down to about 100 miles, which is quite a lot for a fully electric bike. Oh, by the way, notice this: the mirrors. They're sitting a bit too wide and a bit too tall. So if it was luxury SUV, i.e. Land Rover or something of the sort, or better yet, transit vans, or the 7.5 tonners where I live, you're gonna have some issues. You're gonna be nudging. Let's quickly chuck you onto sports mode once I've got a second, and let's see what the delivery is like. Here we go. We roll on and off we go. Let's see what she can deliver. There we go. Now, few seconds, and it was doing just over 45. And I panicked a bit and I let go of the throttle. I'll admit that. Reason being, it's very torquey, and I'm on a test bike and I really do not want to take any risk. But it's such a nice smooth delivery of power, and I've never written anything like it. And these brakes, they've done a cracking job on the brakes because it's just brilliant. Very sharp, very in tune, and you just need to gently pull in. I mean, the ABS is fantastic on it. Um, but yeah, going back to the battery, just I'm me personally, if I was buying this bike, not an issue. From zero to fully charged 12 hours, okay, fine. You're only ever gonna get it down as far as 60%, maybe even 50% if you're a normal commuter. It's like charging your phone at the end of the night. You don't need to run it to a zero. And I'm pretty sure if you take it to work, maybe you can arrange something like putting an extension lead onto the bike parking area. Just by speaking to your facilities manager, it's possible. I mean, you could probably charge it whilst at work, get it into full power. You never know. But it's for a piece of tech, this is a substantial achievement for Zero. I mean, they've been at it since I believe 2006 or so, and this is all they do, electric motorcycles. And to see it come here to the UK, I've got to say that I am really impressed with both models now that I've test ridden, and they do make a finely balanced bike as well, because it is so easy and nimble to flick through traffic, and maneuverability is fantastic. You can't fault it. Design ergonomics wise, yeah, great. I mean, they've kept it simple uh, and very stylish as well. They do use the speedo from I think across the board the speedos stay the same. And also, interesting fact, if you got a phone holder on the bike, like some kind of RAM mount for your mobile, you can download an app for Zero, which will enable you to check the stats of your bike, like how much you're burning, like your telemetry and everything. I've not had a chance to download it, which is a shame, but it's 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 a nice little app to have when you're riding around, because you could check what you've ridden like, which is fantastic. Also, no one else is going to have a bike like this. I mean, you could stand out from the crowd. That alone is worth paying that premium and getting it. And plus, you don't need to pay it all as a lump sum. There's always financing options. If I was a beginner and I was starting to ride again, this would be my number one choice, definitely. because of the power and the smooth delivery and the nimble handling of the bike. But yeah, come to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that good stuff, and I'll keep making more videos. So yeah, I'll put in the description as well, like the prices of the accessories and stuff that you can get for it, like the charge tank and the power tank, and a few links to the Zero website itself, so you can check it out. But yeah, great bikes, amazing bit of tech. Check them out, do a bit of research. Well worth thinking about for your first bike. I'm pretty sure the insurance will be quite cheap as well, and no road tax. Isn't that amazing? No road tax. Think about that. That should really be the sweetener for it. But yeah, thanks for watching.